Yo, this the Ghetto Linguist, and we back at you with another video. Now check me out. I'm in my little hotel room. The lighting is terrible, but you know how it is. We do what we can, not what we want. Okay. I believe this is like week 20 or week 21. I don't remember. I'm losing count of all the weeks and all that good stuff. But anyways, yo, I'm out here in Isan. That's where I am. And I don't know if moving out here was the best idea or not, because Isan, their dialect or their way of speaking Thai is like kind of far from the standard. So in some sense, it's like I'm starting over, in some sense it's not. But we'll see how that goes. Could be the worst decision I ever made, but I doubt it. Anyways, this week, I want to talk to you about studying in a big city versus studying in a small city. Now listen, when I studied Vietnamese, I was living in a big city, and there's a lot of disadvantages and advantages to living there. But I always, just focus on the disadvantages, and I was always just like, man, this is not good because, blah, 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 blah. There's everybody there knows English, and they all want to speak to you in English. But living in the small city, that's how I'm going about learning Thai. It comes with a lot of disadvantages too, and I'm really starting to see it. I was in Bangkok last week hanging out, and while I was with my friends and stuff like that, my American friends, so I didn't really get to speak a lot of Thai. I still got to see like a lot of the issues with trying to learn a language in a big city. I still got to see how it is to learn languages in a big city again and look at it from that perspective. And I gotta say, there definitely are disadvantages to trying to learn a language in a small city. For one, you just don't get a lot of opportunities. So like when I was in the big city, I was in Bangkok, I would like go to cafes and stuff like that, and I would just hear other people ordering their drink or their food, While being in the small city, there's just not many people. So when I go into the cafe, there's not like there's a line of people ordering. So I don't get those little opportunities where I get to just listen to other people doing the daily things in life. I don't really get that in the small city. But in the big city, I get that. I get to listen to folks around me doing the daily things. It allows me to listen to how people naturally communicate those small things that we do every day. That's something that I wasn't really getting in the big city. And, of course, now after having the opportunity to, I've studied Thai in the small city, I've seen some of the advantages. And then going out to the big city, I've got to see, oh, man, this was something I was really missing. Another thing, I haven't really got to test my Thai in a real area, but another thing is that I've noticed me studying Thai online, because that's mostly how I'm approaching it, because I'm trying to, see what happens, because most of my studying is online, not talking to people face to face. And what I'm learning is that while my Thai is improving, and I'm still very confident that within 2 years I'll be able to speak Thai and all that good stuff pretty solidly, what I'm noticing is I'm learning a lot of impractical things. Of course, I'm shooting to learn practical things, of course, but there's just some things that's hard to get without, actually being on the ground. So it's not that I'm not learning Thai or whatever, but it's like, it's like the conversations that I have online aren't necessarily the most practical or common conversations that I would have on the ground. And I don't know how to put this to really explain this, because I don't want to turn anyone off and make people think, oh, well, what's the point of me saying? You're still going to learn the language. But there's just like, I can give an example. I studied Japanese in university, and when studying Japanese in university, they give you all these hypotheticals and things of this is what you'll hear and blah, blah, blah. But when you actually get out there to Japan, like, and you go to like a 7-Eleven and you buy something or whatever, they'll say like, yo, do you want it hot, or do you just want it how it is? If you buy like some dish that can be warmed up and eaten, and like something simple like that, and the way that they word it, like I didn't understand that when I first moved to Japan, even though I kind of knew how to speak Japanese. I didn't understand it because they would say that to me so naturally. But when I actually went out there and lived out there, and they would say that, then I caught on to it quickly. And it's little things like that people just say regularly on the day-to-day that you don't get when you're studying online, and you don't necessarily hear as much when you're in a small city, because you're not hearing people communicate on a day-to-day basis. So I am starting to see cracks or disadvantages with studying online or with opting to study in a small city instead of the big city. However, I don't think any of these disadvantages are so bad that you shouldn't go in and study a language in a small city or study a language online. I don't think that. I think these disadvantages just make it to where once you get out there initially, it might be a little bumpy for you because everyone will be speaking in a natural way that you might not be super used to. But just that, it'll just be a little bumpy for you. Doesn't matter because, you know, if you hang around there, you'll get those little things in no time. Because what I'm learning in the small city or what I'm learning online is not useful. It's just not always the most practical. And which leads me to another issue that I have with studying online. A lot of my friends, they're always like, the way that they communicate with me, they're always like people like to translate. And I hate translating. So like a lot of times when I'm speaking or whatever, because my Thai is not amazing, there'll be several times where I'll say a portion of the sentence in English and a portion of it in Thai. And a lot of times their answer will be like, for instance, I might say, I said today, outside of rice, what did you eat? And I didn't know the word like outside of or besides rice, what did you eat? And their answer was something to the effect of chicken. When naturally I want them to say, besides rice, I ate chicken. That's what I want them to say, something to the effect that. But it's kind of difficult getting them to say, because on one hand, I don't want to just tell them, hey, say, besides rice, I ate chicken. I don't want to tell them to do that, because then all they do is just translate. I want them to answer in a full sentence, but whatever is natural for them. So I don't want them to just say chicken, because that doesn't help me. I need a full sentence, but not necessarily just translate it, just whatever I said. And that's sometimes a line that I have to play that can be difficult at times, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to cut this video short for a day because I actually got something to do. So I'm the Ghetto Linguist. This is a topic I'll get more into in the future. This is week 21 maybe, I don't really remember. Sorry for the bad lighting and all that stuff, and I'll see you in the future. Peace.